our mutual friend, your close friend, David Sachs, is in the administration. I know a lot of folks in the administration. And this thing in Tennessee is a bit of a rattler. Trump won it by 22. They only won it last night by 10. The Democrat is a nutcase. Yes, they put a bunch of money into the race, the Dems, but so do the Republicans. So what's happening here? Like if you actually got the audience with Trump and he said, what should I do to make sure it's not a bloodbath for Republicans in November? What would you tell him?
I think the plan is actually pretty straightforward to diagnose, but it's complicated to fix. So just to set some context, when I was at the White House, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I saw some data that had been vetted and that was about to be shared with the president. Now I think it's been widely shared, which is that under Joe Biden, I think that the average American family lost about $3,000 of purchasing power. And the reason they lost that was in large part because of inflation and runaway costs and, the cost of practical, useful things that they need for their life, electricity, healthcare, and childcare. So the Trump administration starts from a $3,000 hole. Now, what they've been able to do in 11 months is that they've earned back $1,000, which is a third of where they are. I think the problem, though, is that they will need to find the other 2,000, and it's not their fault because, again, they inherit where they started from. But I think the perception that people have is just that negative $2,000. So if I had to diagnose an answer, I think it's about breaking down the population that's voting into 3 cohorts. Cohort number 1 are people that are mostly retired. I think that their priority is going to be mostly around healthcare. Then there's cohort number 2, which are middle-aged, middle-income families. I think their huge sensitivity is general cost of living. And then I think what people like Mamdani uncovered, which I think the Republicans should embrace, is for young people, the huge hot button question is around student loans and debt load and on-ramping into the United States economy with a decent starting job and salary. So I think you have to have programs that touch each of these 3 areas. And that is probably the path forward where you can earn back the 2,000, show that you've basically closed this hole that Biden created, and then ideally you get out of that hole so that you're now gross net positive, which would be a huge economic win for them.